like my sophomore year here, I was racially profiled and actually arrested for a crime that I didn't commit. So basically, what happened was someone who was of part Asian descent, who's a female, who kind of looked like me, because I guess a lot of people think we all look the same, stole a check and forged like a part of my name in it, like not even my name, but like a part of it. And so I guess what mostly frustrates me was how campus safety handled it. Campus safety, like an institution, a staple on campus that is supposed to be protecting students, totally like threw me on the curve. And basically they came to my room, they picked me up, I asked them what is this all about? Like why are you at my room? And they told me, oh, we can't tell you, you just have to come with us to our offices. And I was like, okay, like, am I in trouble? And they're like, we can't disclose anything right now. So I'm like, all right. Well, like, I didn't do anything, so I'm going to go to campus safety because I don't want to get in any more trouble. If I'm in trouble, like, I want to deal with it right away. So I go to campus safety, I get there, and, like, I'm pretty sure from the get-go they just, like, decided I was guilty just because, like, I was the person that they had. So they told me to sit in a corner, like, verbatim, please go sit in the corner. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. There's, like, all these seats right here, but I'll go sit in the corner, fine. So I go sit in the corner, and, I'm, like, thinking to myself, I'm getting more nervous. I'm like, okay, like, no one's coming to talk to me. I don't know what's going on. So I'm sitting in the corner getting, like, thinking in my head, like, whoa, what's happening? Then I'm like, I can't do this. So I go up to the front desk, and I'm like, officer, can you please explain to me, like, what is happening? Why am I here? Can I, like, sit in a private room and talk to someone about it? I don't know why I'm here. And he's like, I still can't disclose anything to you. Can you just go back and sit in the corner? And when he told me, like, go back and sit in the corner, I was like, I felt like a criminal. And, I mean, personally, I feel like I'm a pretty good person. Obviously, I've made my mistakes, but I never felt like a criminal in my life before that point. It's not even the worst part of the story. So I get in the corner, like, whatever. Like 45 minutes later, still nobody tells me what's going on. Hamilton police come for me. And he walks in, and this officer, I don't even remember his name, he, like, comes, and he's like, excuse me, miss, like, you need to come with me. And I'm like, what? What's going on? Like, why am I going to the police station? And then, sorry, excuse me. So, I go with him. Guys, just so you know, if this ever happens to you, you don't have to go. Don't make my mistake. You don't have to go with them. You can say no. You can talk to me here. You can talk to my dorm room. You don't have to go. I made the mistake of going. Thanks. So, like, I'm walking to the car. Sorry. Wow, I didn't think I was getting so emotional about this. I haven't really talked about it before. So anyways, walking to the car. I've never been in a cop car before, so I go to the passenger seat. And the guy's like, no, you go in the back. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is no good. So I'm like, I get in the back seat. It's a cop car, so I can't open it myself. So he has to open it for me. I'm like, okay, pile in, stressing out, whatever. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to break down. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be like, if I'm strong, I can talk to them. If I break down, like, what's going to happen? I don't know. So I go in. Things happen. They read me my Miranda rights. But the scariest part was when I get there, they have a blown-up picture, like 8.5 by 11 picture of my ID card. And I'm like, how would you have that? Unless campus safety gave that to you, which I did not allow them to do, how do you have my ID photo? And it was huge. And they said, can you identify this woman? And I said, well, that's me. And they were like, again, nobody told me what was going on. So then next they showed me this blown up picture of a check. And they're like, can you read the name that is signed at the bottom of the check? I'm like, okay, sure. Kapua Aiu-Yasuhara. And they're like, is that you? I'm like, no. They're like, that's not you. I'm like, no, I'm Kapua Aiu-Yasuhara. And the cop further goes to tell me, no, it has to be you because you're the only Yasuhara in a 20-mile radius. And I'm like, okay, that's like saying John Smith. Like, oh, gotta be you because, like, you're the only John Smith in a 20. That would never happen. That would never, ever, ever happen. So I was, like, racially profiled for my last name because I'm like a woman, part Asian descent, and like then this guy goes on to tell me that if I don't cooperate with them and don't admit that it's me, that I could go to prison for 20 years. And at that point, I start crying. Because I'm like, I don't want to go to prison. Like, I'm not guilty. What's going on? Like, oh my God. And then the cop tells me, well, I don't understand why you're crying, because if you weren't guilty, you wouldn't be crying. And that's when it's like, oh my God, like, I'm going to go to jail because I'm sad about being, like, here. And I don't know what's going on. And then I come back, and whatever, you know, they go through the process, they're like, oh, don't leave town. Yeah, okay, I'm from Hawaii, not going to go anywhere. So I come back to school, and I talk to my dean. And I guess the most upsetting part, well, there's a lot of upsetting parts to this story, but when I talked to my dean, really, they were like, as an institution, we can't really back you, but what we would suggest to you is to get a lawyer. And I was just like, okay, like, I don't even have the faith in my school that I didn't do this. I've never been in trouble before in my entire life. I'm being faced with 20 years in prison, and it's all during finals. So I'm just like, whoa, like, God, what did I do to you? And so I'm like really freaking out. And obviously I'm here, so it got all figured out. I didn't go to jail, whatever. It's all good now. But in those moments, like when campus safety just freely gave my information out to the police, when they told me to sit in a corner and not tell me what was going on, when my dean told me, like, we can't help you, just get a lawyer. And then, like, when I didn't feel comfortable telling my professors why I'm probably going to fail your exams because I'm so stressed, like, I didn't feel comfortable telling them, like, oh, hey, like, I got arrested, so maybe you can get me some slack. Like, I didn't feel comfortable. And I don't think that should be an issue to anyone. I think you should feel comfortable to express your discomfort. And